Hi, it's Leanna Merrick, and you're watching episode 15 of the Modern Girl's Guide to Sewing. And it's pleating time! Yay! Pleats are pressed folds in a garment. They give the garment dimension and add fullness to your look. We use pleats most when we design skirts, but feel free to add a few front pleats to the front of your man's dress slacks. You know, if you're into that.
I'm not.
It's real sexy.
We use three main types of pleating: a knife pleat, an inverted pleat, and a box pleat. The type of fabric that you use when creating a pleat is a key factor. Fabrics such as cotton, wool, or silk will press flat and hold a nice, crisp fold. Synthetic fabrics like stretch knits will not. The weight of your fabric is also important to keep in mind. The fabric will be doubled up to create the pleat, so if you're using a thicker fabric, a wider pleat will work best. Thin pleats will create too much bulk.
Pleats simply require folding one section of fabric on top of the other. Use a test strip of fabric to see what size and spacing of pleats you like best. Figure out how much fabric it will take to make one pleat, multiply it by the number of pleats you want to make, and then add it to the width your completed fabric needs to be. And let's go make some pleats. We'll show you how to make each one of these.
Let's make a knife pleat first. Take one section of fabric and fold it over, creating a crease like this. When you mark your pleats, always use tailor's chalk or a washable marking pencil because you need to make your markings on the right side of the fabric. Let's say you want a knife pleat that requires 2 inches of fabric and you want each of your pleats spaced out 1 inch apart. Mark along the top edge of your fabric where you want your pleat to start. Then mark 2 inches to the right. Then measure 1 inch from that mark for the start of your second pleat. If you want your pleats to lay the other direction, make your marks to the left of your first mark. Hold your fabric at the first mark and fold it over to match up with your second mark. This is a knife pleat. Now pin in place and move 1 inch over to the third mark you made. Measure 2 inches, make a mark, and then match up those 2 marks. Feel free to make all of your marks beforehand. Sometimes it's helpful to use different colored chalk when marking to keep track of the pleats' starting and stopping points. Once you've created your desired amount of pleats, press them flat and stitch across the top with a normal straight stitch, securing your pleats in place.
An inverted pleat is created by folding 2 equal sections of fabric toward each other, with the folds meeting up at the center front. For the most professional look, the pleats should match up right next to each other. Try doing a few on a test strip of fabric until you get your desired size and spacing of the pleats just right. Once you've determined size and spacing, take your test strip of fabric and use an iron to press a pleat. Unfold it and mark each crease. You will have 2 marks that will meet up to make one side of your pleat. The other side of your markings will be folded the opposite direction. Stitch across the top with a normal straight stitch, securing your pleats in place. You typically see only 1 or 2 inverted pleats in the front or back of a skirt. They are not usually grouped together more than that because then they would turn into box pleats.
A box pleat is the exact opposite of an inverted pleat. Instead of folding 2 equal sections of fabric toward each other, you will fold them away from each other with the folds meeting up in the center back. Make your test pleat, press, and mark the creases of the pleat just like we did on the inverted pleat. Stitch across the top with a normal straight stitch, securing your pleats in place.
And those are our 3 most commonly used pleats. We are addicted to adding them to skirts. I mean, look at this. I love them.
Feel free to try spacing out your pleats, making them close together, or having all the pleats point towards the center. There are so many great ways to customize the look of your garment with pleats. Just maybe not trouser pleats.
Thanks for watching.